everybody. So hey, y'all are back from spring break. That's awesome. I hope y'all had an amazing time enjoying that week off of school, but now you're back at it, so you got to get back into it. So before y'all went on spring break, I was asked a question about Ynez Mexia. Now, I had never heard of her, so I had to do some research on this lady, and it turns out she was way ahead of her time. She was born in 1870 in Washington, D.C., and she passed away in 1938. So she lived a very long life. Now, what makes her story amazing is that she didn't really start her professional journey until she was 55 years old. That's really inspiring and amazing that at that age she decided to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. And she became an American botanist. Now, you all asked me a question, what is a botanist? A botanist is a scientist who studies plants. Now, I'm standing in front of my favorite plant that I have. I planted this 6 years ago, and it was only about that big. And now look at it. This thing is huge. I mean, it stretches all the way over there, all the way over that way, and all the way down. So it is a big, big plant. So like this plant grows and grows, a botanist studies different types of plants and they identify different species of plants, which is what she did. Now, her life is pretty amazing. Listen to this. Her grandfather was Jose Antonio Mexia, a distinguished Mexican general. Right here's his picture. Her mother was a cousin of the 5th Archbishop of Baltimore. So he was way up in the Catholic Church. So she has a pretty cool family history that not a lot of people have. So that's pretty cool. Now, she had 6 half-brothers or half-siblings. She had no children. That was a question you all asked me. She had no children. Now, here's the thing that's really cool about this lady is like I said earlier, she started at 55 years old, but when she was 59, that is when she decided to go on a trip through the Amazon, which is in South America. Her expedition, and if y'all look behind me, I probably have bees all over the place behind me, which is kind of cool. That's why I'm standing here hoping I don't get stung. During that 2.5 years, she traveled over 3,000 miles on steamships like the one I'm showing here, and little canoes to get into hard to reach places there on the Amazon. She is credited with categorizing or identifying over 500 different plants that were unknown at that time. She has a lot of plants actually named after her, and here's just a few of them right here. Now, in 1938, she was diagnosed with lung cancer, and she ended up passing that same year. So one thing to take from this story is that regardless of your age, if you find something that you want to do or you're passionate about, do it. Don't ever let age, whether you're young or old, keep you from fulfilling a dream. All right? And I want to thank the class for introducing me to Ynez Mexia. I had never read about her, I never heard of her, and now I've been researching her, and truly an amazing woman. So I've got one more thing to talk about on this video, and it's something that one of you asked me about in the last video. But because I was inside, I wasn't really able to explain it very well, so let's do that now. Okay, so I was asked about how do you keep plants growing straight up? Or if you remember the last video, I explained it like this. This question is, how do you keep the plants growing straight? Okay, so this pertains to really outside growing, not really inside container gardening or starting your seeds. This pertains to the actual garden. Really good question and a really simple answer. You get stakes, long poles that you can stake in the ground that gives the plant support and helps them grow straight up. Okay, so because I wasn't outside, I wasn't able to really do a good example of explaining it. And I had a viewer mention to me that I should do a demonstration to better explain it. So let's do that right now. And I'm going to use this rose bush behind me as the example. Okay, so if we come in, you can see the rose bush right here. Right here. right there. And you can see that I have it braced with this pole. It's connected right there with these clips. Now, if I didn't have those clips on there and I didn't have it connected to this pole, this rose bush would be laying over here. Okay, so in order to keep this thing growing straight up, you use braces. Now, you can use braces like this, or you can use a trellising system like this one. Or you can use an even better trellising system like that one right here. So what you want to do when you want a plant to grow straight up and not be leaning over, you want to use some sort of a brace. Regardless of what you use, you just want it to be strong. I have read that at certain times, people would grow corn stalks and then grow a trellising plant at the bottom of that corn stalk and use the corn stalk as the trellis. So it's really up to your imagination on how you make your plant stay straight up and down. But what I decided to do for this rose bush was just use a couple of these poles to keep it good and straight. And I had to use 2 of them. And then I linked this vine into the top of the rose bush here. Oop, almost got stung. Into the top of the rose bush here to also help keep it straight up and down. I think I'm making the bees mad, so we're gonna move away. Yeah, I don't want to get stung. All right, so that's the video for today, guys. That is Classroom Series question and answer number 3. Hope you all got something out of it. I really enjoyed learning about Ynez Mexia. If you all come up with more questions, more ideas, by all means, let your teacher know so she can get them to me, and we will continue doing these. Now, I do have a surprise for you. Give me 1 second. Okay, do you have any idea what the surprise is? I have a special guest. It's Moonlight. Look how big she's gotten. Okay, so I have not been able to plant Moonlight yet because it's still just a little chilly at night. I don't want to plant Moonlight or Starbright just yet because I don't want the cold weather at night to affect them in any way. I'm keeping them both well taken care of, and as soon as I'm ready to plant them, that will be the next Single Seed Challenge update. All right, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I hope you all learned something. I want to keep doing these, so keep bringing those questions in. And everyone, until next time, shine bright and harvest hard. Bye.
Jojo. Jojo. Say hi to the people. Yeah, Jojo. Sit. Okay. Say hi to your fans, Jojo. Say hi.